First chatty video with short hair. What do you guys think? Don't lie, bestie. I know, once or twice in your life, you've probably been a little jealous. No shame, I'm a Scorpio. I probably beat you in the jealousy department, okay? When I'm not my best self, I really feel that jealous, petty vibe kind of bubble up inside of me. And believe me, it's also coupled with a lot of shame and guilt because I don't like feeling that way. But something I've been working on over the years is working with my emotions rather than becoming my emotions and identifying as my emotions. Like, I don't have to be angry. I don't have to be sad. I can feel those things and detach from them. And jealousy falls into that category as well. I know jealousy has like a lot of negative connotations around it. I mean, you never hear it talked about in a positive sense, but I want to just make a little bet with you that by the time you get to the end of this video, you will have a different perspective of how to utilize jealousy as a superpower. It's absolutely important to note that if you let jealousy steer you and drive you, you run into bad issues. When you act off of jealousy, you can run into issues. However, as I said, you don't need to become your emotions. You can observe them and you can do a little bit of reflection in being like, okay, what is the deeper meaning of this feeling coming up for me? I don't have to be a jealous person. I'm feeling that right now. Okay, I'm observing that, but I don't have to continue to be a jealous person. I can utilize this feeling that I'm having to give me an idea of what's really going on with myself. Our emotions are just a gauge of what's internally going on. Our emotions are a way for our body to, in our brain, to communicate with us. So when you're irritated or when you're frustrated, half the time for me, it means I need to eat something, or it means I'm not getting something within my body, like maybe the right nutrients, the right amount of sleep. There's always a reason attached to your emotions. And if we just started to listen a little bit more to these emotions rather than demonize them and make ourselves feel bad for feeling bad, we could actually use them to better ourselves and just use them as a way to see the mirror of what does my body need, what does my brain need, what does my mental state need, what do I need to get myself out of this state. So when it comes to an emotion like jealousy, I think it's really important to ask yourself, what is the trigger with this jealous feeling that's coming up? So I'll use social media as an example because I feel like we're all using it. You're here watching a YouTube video. So at some point or another, there has probably been a time where you were online and looking at someone's life online made you feel jealous. It made you feel less than, it made you feel resentment towards this person or maybe even yourself. But jealousy is a common thing, especially with social media. And thank God we're moving in a different direction of being a little more real online. But let's say, you know, pre-pandemic, 2019, 2016 vibes, okay? Everybody is out here in their thong, on a yacht, in a bikini. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm out here working a 9-to-5, feeling really bad about myself and like, I hate this bitch because she has a better life than me. Like, can we be real for a second, okay? Be for real. So that was me. But there finally came a point where I was looking at this jealous stuff going on with myself. And mind you, jealousy is not a good feeling for me. I don't know about you, but jealousy is not something that I want to be. It's a yucky, icky feeling for me. And one day I finally got to the point of being like, why am I hating on a stranger? You know, a lot of my jealousy was tied to people online. I had to challenge myself to ask more questions. So I'm like, okay, what is it about this person's life that is triggering me? What is it about this experience that's triggering me? So for example, if I was looking at one of the Instagram models, 2016, living their best life, seeming like, you know, they have everything and I'm seeming like I feel like I don't, I'm thinking to myself, why can I not be happy for this person? And what it really boils down to is it's not this person who, by the way, I do not know. It is their lifestyle that I'm envious of. So let's take it a step further. Okay, so I want this person's lifestyle. What is it about their lifestyle that I want? Do I want to be on a boat? Well, not necessarily. Do I want to be in a bikini on a boat? Maybe, but not necessarily. I think it's the fact that she's not in this building that I'm in at a corporate office right now, and she is having more fun than me. Okay, so noting that down, I'm triggered because I'm not having fun in my life right now, and this person is. So do you kind of get what I mean by challenge yourself and ask more questions? Because it's not just that you're jealous of somebody, it's that there's something missing inside of you that you're seeing in this person, okay? And you need to get to the root of what is it that you want that you're not getting in your life right now. So for me, it was the fact that I felt like I wasn't having fun in my life, the fact that I felt like I wasn't having the same freedom she had. Like, I wanna have that freedom. I wanna build my own life. So I took those jealous emotions and I challenged myself and I said, okay, there is nothing wrong with me feeling jealous, but I can't own this. I have to take this emotion and do something with it. And I started to become thankful for this little feeling of jealousy, because what it did was it showed me what maybe in my life I was missing, and that would make me feel a little more fulfilled. So having freedom over my time and my life, that was huge for me. And I said, okay, let's take it to the next step. Let's keep asking myself more questions. Why can't I have the freedom I want in life? And you get very real with yourself. This isn't like an easy exercise to do. If you're really willing to do the inner work and not let your emotions drive you in another direction, this can be so powerful, and it's something I literally did. I'm self-employed now. I don't report to anybody. If I want to get on a plane tomorrow, I can do that. Because I was looking at people who had that, and instead of being like, wow, that could be me at the time, I was jealous, but then I made an intentional decision to stop being jealous and use that feeling to say, how can I have that too? How can I get there? What's so different about her that I can't do? Nothing. Literally nothing. Unless you decide that there's something in your way, that's your reality. But it boils down to what you think you can do and what you're capable of. And I had to challenge myself to say, why can't I build a life like this? I can. I could do these things too. And so that was a part of me starting to venture into social media in general and being a content creator, was I was seeing other people do the things that I was also passionate about, but they were making a living off of it. And I knew that it wasn't built overnight, even though it looked like it was. So I challenged myself and I really pushed myself to be like, okay, I can sit here in jealousy and I can feel these nasty, icky feelings all the time, or I can start building it myself. You have a choice, jealousy or get it yourself. And that's what I just decided moving forward. I'm not gonna let that define who I am. I'm not a jealous person. So get to the bottom of your trigger. Figure out what it is that you're looking at that is evoking this emotion of jealousy and write it down. Keep asking questions until you can't ask any more questions, okay? That's what helped me kind of deduce what it was. And usually it's not a superficial answer. It's not that you just want to be flashing your money on a private jet. Because let me tell you something. I've said it before and I will say it again. These superficial, materialistic things do not provide happiness or stability. And if you think they do, go ahead and work for it and go get it, and then come back and report to me if you're a happier person. Money does not buy happiness. Neither does shaking your ass on a yacht, but it is fun. Just know the difference. You really have to think of jealousy as a compass of where do I want to go in this life? If every time I see someone on TikTok or YouTube or Instagram that evokes some kind of emotion out of me, it's an opportunity for me to use it as a compass. So you can figure out maybe what your inner desires truly are by looking at what other people have. It doesn't have to be a petty thing. It doesn't have to be like, oh, she doesn't do anything. You know, you don't have to go there. It doesn't have to be that way. You can honestly be happy for other people and still want more for yourself. Let me say that again. You can be happy for people and still want more for yourself. You can do both. Two things can be true. But also, outside of just acknowledging that jealousy can be a compass of where you want to go, the things you want to obtain, I think it's important to realize that it's very easy to go the opposite direction and make it a negative thing. It usually is a negative thing because that's how we've learned in society to look at jealousy, like the green-eyed monster. Like, I've never heard of jealousy being a positive thing. I made it a positive positive thing, because what I realized is it's gonna happen whether I like it or not. And I can be a great person, I can be the best person, and so many people in my life who are really good people have also confided in me that they can be jealous at times. And because we don't talk about it, we like bury that down, and it will turn into something if you don't address it, if you don't acknowledge it. You know those friends that you have that you know aren't really truly happy for your success, and you feel that energy with those people. It's like tension in the air, but you know that these people are jealous or vice versa. It's a very obvious thing, even if it's unspoken. It's a very heavy energy, and that's why I think it's so important to acknowledge it and give yourself more grace and detach from it, because you don't have to become it and you don't have to act off of it. The reason I think it's so important to work through jealous feelings is because I'm a big believer in that what you put out there comes back to you, baby. A lot of you saw my abundance mindset video. What you reap, you sow. However you want to word it, what you put out there is going to come back to you. So there's no need to want to put that energy out there. Don't act on the energy. Let the emotion come and go. Let it come like a wave, but don't act on it. You don't have to treat somebody different if you're feeling that jealousy. Give yourself grace, acknowledge it internally, and try as hard as you can to let it go, because ultimately, if you're acting on jealousy and you're being mean to other people in your life because you're jealous of their success, or mean to people online because you're jealous of what they have in life, that's gonna come back to you. Inevitably. It's quantum physics. What you put out there will come back to you, and you don't wanna set yourself back anymore. If anything, be selfish and do it for yourself. If you don't care about hurting other people's feelings, do it for yourself. I get hella hate comments, and so do a lot of my creator friends. I used to really just cling to how these people made me feel, and it really brought me down at one point. But I had a complete mindset shift when I realized the kind of person you have to be to spew hate online. And from the bottom of my heart, I feel so sad for people who put negativity out there, because I know that has nothing to do with me and everything to do with them. And I truly, truly wish the best for them, because I know that's going to come back to them. And it's a vicious cycle of putting out negativity and continually getting negative feelings back. You're not gonna feel better by putting hate comments out there. That doesn't make you a better person. But a lot of those hate comments out there are fueled by jealousy. But you guys have to remember, you're seeing the highlight reel of everybody's life for the most part, okay? So you don't have to hate on anybody for that. If anything, you could be happy for them, or you could just scroll, you know? So it happens all the time, but it completely changed my perspective that I don't have to clap back at people. There are much worse things coming for that person, and I genuinely feel bad because they're just sowing negativity into the world that is eventually going to blossom in their lives. So my point is, just don't put it out there so it doesn't have to come back to you. So as I mentioned, I've been there before. I'm right next to any of you who have ever felt that jealous feeling with people. And like 2017, Bria, in a much different place. I would see influencers online. Specifically, I started to see fitness influencers first, and I would always be like, dang, I wish that was me. Like, it's so annoying that, well, first of all, I had no idea how much work it was. It looked like a fun job because that's their job, to make everything look fun. But I really just felt so icky seeing other people doing things I wanted to do, to the point where I wouldn't even get on Instagram sometimes because I didn't want to chance putting myself in a bad mood. Eventually, I stopped feeling sorry for myself, and you have to really sit there and say, why not me? Why not you? Why not me? With anything, but especially when you feel that jealous feeling, ask yourself, why not you? And chances are you have some very deep limiting beliefs that you've created for yourself. If you think you can't do something or that you can't have something, then it's absolutely true, because you're the only one that's standing in your way. It's a hard truth, but if you think you can do something and you have that faith, you can do it. I'll tell you this, if it's a desire in your heart, you are meant to have it. You are. Our desires are internal gauges. So if there's something that you crave in this life, you are absolutely capable of having it. That's just your body saying, yep, that's for you. That's for you. If you want it, you can have it. I feel like looking back at the jealous feeling I had seeing influencers before I became an influencer myself, it was like a nudge for me to consider doing the same thing. That feeling was so big for me, it became bigger and bigger. And honestly, it got to the point where I felt like it would be worse for me to live a life of regret and never trying than failing. And when your fear of failing is much smaller than your fear of never trying, like that is what I feel to be like the biggest sign that you need to act on that. From that, I feel like I learned that your desires are not a mistake. Your desires are not an accident. Your desires are an extension of your purpose and who you're supposed to become or be. Obviously, there's fine print to that because with every desire, there is a deep, deep meaning of why you want that thing. And that's why in the beginning of this video, I said, continue to question yourself and continue to get to the bottom of your triggers of what makes you jealous, because it's usually not so surface level. It's deeper. And me looking at influencers and seeing the life that they built, yes, I wanted the freedom to be my own boss, all those things, but there was this huge desire for me to be a light to other people, and that was my deepest meaning. And fast forward a few years later, I'm doing it now. I could have sat there and I could have been jealous forever and just simmered in that and said, that'll never be me. And that would have been true. But I decided to take that because that feeling was so urgent and I couldn't ignore it. I took something from that and I built my own life, because why not me? There's really no reason why it couldn't have been me, and it is me. And that's why those feelings came up, and I listened to them. Instead of making myself feel bad for them, I finally was like, I hear you. You want to do this too. There's no reason why you can't. Just start. Go ahead and start. So let's take some actionable items behind this. The next time you're feeling jealous, I want you to try this. Step 1, take a moment to just pause and acknowledge that you feel jealous about something. Deep breath, think about it. I'm jealous right now. And that's okay. But I'm not gonna be jealous anymore. But I feel that feeling. Thank you, body. Thank you, mind, for letting me know. I'll get to the root of this when I have time. So then after you've acknowledged that you feel jealous, I want you to challenge yourself to intentionally send positive energy to whatever just made you jealous. I know that's tough, especially maybe if you don't like the person. But if you don't like the person, then why are you hanging out with them or why are you following them? Whatever the case may be. Take a moment to intentionally send a positive vibe out to whatever energy just made you feel a little bit jealous. Because what we're doing is we're gonna elevate our own energy. We're gonna bring our energy level back up because we don't need to be in that low vibrational jealous range. Usually for me, what that looks like is, say I see somebody online that has something I want. Maybe they have like the dream car I want, okay? Take a moment. I feel jealous right now, that's okay. And then I'm gonna say, you know what? I am so happy for this person. Whatever work they put in to get here or whatever circumstances they had to get this car, I am so happy for them. And one day, I can't wait to have my dream car. See? You can be happy for other people and you can also want more for yourself, remember? So we're sending out good vibes and we're not sending out hate. Then we're gonna go back to the trigger part, okay? So now that we've sent out a good vibe, we're gonna just think, what was it about that whole situation that just made me feel jealous? Like, why did that give me such low vibes? Maybe because I really want this new car. My car is super dingy right now. It breaks down all the time. It's taking all my money and it's just really frustrating and I feel like it's not fair because I'm a good person and I deserve good things too. Okay, that's totally fine. You can have that and so get to the bottom of that though and say, but why when I see somebody else with something good does it make me angry? Maybe my thoughts would be,
oh, well, they didn't work hard for that. I work hard and I still don't have a new car.
Or their husband gifted them that car. Like,
they just have so much money and they don't do anything.
Okay, but there's a deeper reason past that. So why does them not working hard bother you? Because you do work hard? Well, that's not a good reason. So maybe one of your desires is to work less and get more. So write that down as your goal, as your desire. Maybe it's not even about the new car. Maybe it is on a surface level, but the deeper meaning was you would like a new car, you feel like you work hard, and you feel like you don't get the things you need in life. That means you need a mindset shift. But continue to push yourself and ask more questions on why do I feel this way? Because I promise you, the more you ask, the deeper you'll go, and the better it is for you to move past that emotion and really figure out what your body's trying to tell you, okay? So seeing other people not work hard for really big things is a trigger for you because you're such a hard worker. But you can change that mindset to being happy for other people and hoping that for yourself, hoping that your hard work starts to pay off and that you can work less and that you could get more. And you can. You have to sit down and think about how can you do that in this life. It's not an easy feat. I'm condensing this into a cute YouTube video, but this is inner work, and inner work takes work. So don't think this is an overnight thing. Like, I've been working on this for years, and there are still moments when I get jealous, but now I have a better strategy for detaching from this emotion and using it as a superpower rather than something to set me back and put negativity into the world. My job is not to put negativity into this world. My job is to be a light in this world. So I've got to turn it into something better. Glass half full. You feel me? And the very last thing you want to do in the situation, once you have acknowledged the feeling, once you've put good vibes back into the world to get yourself back up and elevated, once you've reflected on what that trigger was to get you jealous, I want you to give yourself some grace, okay? Take a minute to come back to you and let yourself know it's okay. Forgive yourself if you feel shame, if you feel guilt around that, because a lot of the times jealousy comes up in interesting situations, even with people we love and we care about. Sometimes we can be jealous of the people closest to us, and oftentimes we are. Give yourself grace and forgiveness. First of all, it's a huge step that you can say you're jealous of anything, but then let it go. Because you are not that emotion. That emotion came to let you know something, and you can tell it, okay, thank you, you can leave. At the end of the day, remember that you're human and we are filled with emotions. That's what makes humans so amazing, is that we feel so much, almost feels like too much, but it's not for no reason. And the more we learn how to process our emotions, we can regulate them better, and then they can't control us as much anymore. So I hope this video gives you a different perspective on how you could use jealousy as a superpower. I didn't introduce myself. My name's Bria. Hope you made it to the end of the video to hear that. Thanks for tuning in. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell, and I'll see you guys next week.